Hello everyone. Let's move to the edge of the chair and find your comfort sitting on the edge, finding the tuberosities that you sit on. Move from right to left. Get comfortable. And then find center. We're going to start by just breathing in and out. You can close your eyes and maybe visualize your spinal column with all the vertebras going all the way from your tail up through a flat bone to the lumbar, to the area where you put your belt, and up the mid-back and all the way between the shoulder blades up to the neck and all the way to the skull. And as you inhale and exhale, visualize the breath going through the center tunnel, up and down, in, down through the chair, into the floor, and up through the spine, up and beyond into the heaven, and then collect it and bring it down and find the rhythm that works for you. And each time try to slow it down, and as you slow it down, see if you can also reduce the tension inside your body. And as you inhale and exhale, notice what in your body goes up and down. Which areas of muscle groups are participating in your inhale and in your exhale. And don't add any extra movement, just notice what is there. And on the next time, we're going to actually inhale a little bit deeper and try to really do it as large as you can do it. So it's a big inhale. And notice if more of you moved. And exhale, and keep on exhaling and exhaling and exhaling, and notice if more of you has moved. And again, inhale deep. And exhale deep. And now I'm going to use different words, and we're going to inhale high, and we're going to allow the shoulder to come up with it. Pulling the ribs with us. And we're going to exhale down and down and down and down, and we're going to allow the shoulder blades to glide down, and maybe the ribs even to kind of shrink a little bit. I wanted to say the word kvetch, but and inhale and lift and lift and lift and lift. Keep your wrist really soft, your fingers really soft. Just the shoulders and the ribs are helping. And one more, deep with the shoulders and the ribs, and exhale with the shoulders and the ribs, and let the shoulders go. And now we're going to breathe from the pelvis. We're going to inhale up, making a balloon here that's lifted, and we're going to allow the balloon to sink in the between the ilium bones. And we're going to lift the ball And we're gonna exhale the ball and let it sit inside the bones. And we're gonna lift the ball. And we're gonna exhale the ball. Go ahead and open your legs a little bit wider. Maybe have a little bit of an angle where the toes are pointed. Do you notice that I'm actually wearing shoes today? I'm cold. And inhale, so that's why we're breathing. Notice how it's gonna warm you up. And inhale, lift the ball up. And exhale, lower the ball down. And inhale, lift the ball up. Does it go all the way down to up to your lower ribs? And exhale the ball down. Now we're gonna do the ball and the shoulder and the ribs. Everything is gonna go up and reach up to the heavens and exhale down into the earth. And now less shoulder lift and less power, but still the same intention. And exhale. Feel how you're anchoring into the chair, but without and even less muscle power and more intention. So your shoulder might have a smidge of a lifting or the intention of lifting, but not really. But the ball is lifting up to the ribs, and the ribs are lifting up to your armpits, but without tension. And one more time, even less tension. And relax it. Make sure that you are nice and wide, because we are going to slide the hands over the knees, allowing the torso to come forward, and we're going to bring the hands into the thigh, rounding the lower back and looking at our belly button. And inhale from the C shape going into the L, and from the L leaning forward as if you are a zebra that's trying to reach down to the lake to drink. And round your back and draw your hands without tension back in, rounding the back and looking at your belly button. And sliding the hands, and that brings you back up to the L shape, 90 degrees. And from there, from the tail to the lower back, to the mid back, in between your shoulder blades, into the neck, just as far as it feels comfortable. Gliding your hands over the knees, and then coming back from the tailbone, rounding and rounding and rounding. I'm going to do it to the side so you can see a little bit better. So we're here, right? We're looking at the belly button, sliding the hands forward, straightening up to 90 degrees, reaching with the tailbone, and reaching and reaching and reaching through the spine as much as you can, vertebra by vertebra, and starting from the tail, coming back and letting the hands glide over the leg. Touch your pants and look at your belly button, rounding everything. So now we're in the C shape, gliding the hands, coming to an L, reaching the tailbone out. I feel like I'm a peacock with my tail showing off all the way. Depending on how flexible you are, you may go even all the way down before you come up, but that's up to you, depending on your flexibility and your strength. Don't push it, Better to do very little, like just over the knees and above the knees. And just work on working every single vertebra. It's not about the size, it's about how well you organize your body in working with the whole system. So some of us will not move the lower back, many of us will not move in between our shoulders, especially when we go forward. So just work on finding and working on the areas that's not moving as well for you, and keep on softening. Work with the breath, and especially the touching of the hands, guiding you to how you're doing. And try to correspond between the movement of the hand and the movement of your upper back. So it's not like the hands are doing whatever they're doing, or your back is doing whatever it's doing and the hands are not. See if you can find the relationship between. And if you chose to go beyond the face looking forward and really go down, then allow your neck to relax and hang, and then the tailbone brings you back. You place your pelvis in the place on the chair and rolling back. And now we're going to put both hands on the right leg, going down. So I'm going to have to shift my weight to the outside of my right leg and coming in from the inside of my right leg and going down, down and down and down on my outside of my right leg and coming in. Notice the weight that goes into the leg as you go down, and your body weight is over the outside. How much your leg is working. And coming in, is your head relaxed? Is your neck relaxed? And one more time. Going down from the outside and coming in from the inside. Inhale deep, exhale deep as well. And bring your hands to the left leg. We're going to slide down on the outside. And we're going to come in on the inside. We're going to come down on the outside, and we're going to come in from the inside. We're going to come down, slide and slide and slide, and coming in. Which leg is easier for you to get the weight on it? This is your last time on the left one, and coming back in. And sit in the center and feel how those muscles on the side here that stretched a little bit feel. Shift your weight from right to left. Check that you're still sitting on the edge of the chair, that you didn't slide back to get too comfortable. Sorry. Did I catch you? Okay. Again, going to the right, drop your head get your weight maybe a little bit below your knee. Shift the weight even more to the right and feel how your left hip comes up. Keep yourself there and put the hip back down. And you're going to feel like a little bit stretch in the hip. And shift back to the right leg. And back into the chair. And shift a little bit to the right leg. And back into the chair. And shift into the right leg. And back into the chair and slide up. So one side is stretching and one side is working hard. And we're going to do it to the left side. Sliding down a little bit, not too much. Feel how the right hip is coming out off the chair. And now keep your hands there and bring the right hip to the chair. And allow the right hip to come up and bring it back down. And so my right hip comes up a little bit and I'm pulling it back down. And it's coming up a little bit and it's pulling down. And one more time, allowing it to come up and down. And slide your hand up. And rest in the center, take a deep breath. And open your legs and we're going to come towards your knees, towards your toes, and bring your knees in. Roll to your little toe and lower the heel. And up and kissing the knees. And roll towards your little toe and relax. And up and in, and out and heels down, and up and in, and up and heels down, and up and in, and up and heels down, and up and knees, sorry, I didn't listen to myself, I'm sorry, and up and knees together. I was thinking ahead and I was not paying attention to what I was saying. Left heel up and rotate and swivel on the chair as much as you want to and come back and lift the heel and swivel in the hip and swivel the hip on the chair. So it's like we're playing Lazy Susan. And up and rotate. And up and down with the heel. Up and rotate. And up and down. And up and rotate. And up and down. Other side. Right leg up, rotate the knee and rotate the hip as well, and up and lower your heel and lift the heel, rotate from the hip socket and come back with the pelvis and the leg and up and rotate and up and back, lower the hip, lift the heel, swivel, up and down. Other side, left leg, lifting the heel, rotating. I rotated the hip, lower the knee, relax the knee. Lift the knee, drop the knee. Lift the knee, drop the knee. Lift the knee, drop the knee, lift and drop. Now the pelvis. Lift the hip and lower it down. Lift the hip and lower it down. lift the hip, lower it down, lift the hip, lower it down, and swivel back to the chair. Lift the heel, rotate the knee. Lift the knee out and back. Out, drop it back. Out, completely relax it, so it might be vertical. And up, and let it go. And out, and let it go. Now the pelvis. Up, and drop it. Up, and drop it. Up, and drop it. Up, and drop it. And one more up, and drop it. And rotate back to the center. Take a deep breath. And exhale. And lift the left heel. And rotate the leg and swivel on the chair. Place your right foot so you're steady. Hold on to the chair with your hand. And now push the heel down towards the floor, bringing the hip forward. So I'm barely touching the chair. My right thigh is kind of touching the chair. And back. And rotate, lifting the heel. Rotate. Press the heel back. So I'm kind of about to run, right? If I really left the chair, I would be standing ready for a run. And the thigh is touching the chair, my hand is on the chair. Put the hip back and rotate. And heels up, leg rotates, knees facing down, hip is moving forward so I can go running. And back. Let's do this side one more time. Heel goes up, rotate, bring the hip forward, lower the heel to the floor. And back down. And we have another side. How lucky. Heel is going up. It's being lifted. Leg is rotating and the knee is facing down. The pelvis, the hip is going forward and I am getting, the heel is going down to the floor and bring it back to the chair. You can do it way, way smaller. You can just lift, rotate, swivel, and keep sitting, right? You don't have to get up. You can be sitting so you're nice and safe. And back and center. And heel, rotate the leg in the hip socket. And the hip goes forward, the heel goes back. And if you want, you can bring this arm forward or not. But you can either leave the chair or not, and coming back to center. Last time, up and swivel, rotate the hip, and coming back. And let's do it from side to side without stopping. So what are you doing with your eyes? Where are you looking? Are your eyes kind of connecting to the direction of the movement? And as you sit, do you feel like your lumbar resting before it getting the arch that we did in the beginning of the class? This is the rounding a little bit, just a little bit. And this one is the going forward, the giraffe position that we did earlier. And resting the lumbar and working with it, getting a direction. And one more time to each side. Lovely. And come back to sitting. On the edge of the chair. Rounding, looking at your belly button. Coming back to 90. Sliding the hands and looking forward. And rounding. Looking at your belly button, coming back to 90, and you have an arch. And rounding. And 90, and reaching. And looking inward. Being neutral and being interested in the world, and making smaller and smaller and even smaller and smaller, but the quality and the essence of the movement stays. So now the breath is the one that's taking you back. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and even smaller, until you stay in the center. Open your palms and maybe bring them in towards you with the left laying on top of the right. Close your eyes and feel that breath of going back, up, and forward. Back, up, and forward as it goes up the spine. So we're having a going back into 90 and forward within the parameters of the tunnel in our vertebras. And we're climbing up and up and up and up, kind of to infinity. Ending up with a smile that goes inwardly and out into the world, into your friends, and to yourself. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.